Welcome to the warm-up, everybody. Thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Neil Beasley, and we had a great week of Texas high school football. In fact, we're getting ready for another great week of Texas high school football, so of course, we need to get you warmed up. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and if you are a high school football player who's practicing today, congrats on a great season. Let's take a look at some great third-round matchups in the Louisiana Hot Sauce Hot Zone. Friday at NRG Stadium, there's going to be an awesome triple header taking place, with the nightcap being Atascocita taking on Houston Lamar. That game is one that should be circled because both teams have so much firepower. You'd think you would see this game in the state semifinal instead of a third-round matchup. But one of those teams will be packing their shoulder pads up earlier than expected. I got to tell you, I'm not sure which squad that's going to be. Lamar is undefeated and has speedsters all over the field, including quarterback Jordan Reeves and athletes Justin Howard and Tristan Brown. Add to that a defense that caused 5 turnovers last week in their 3-point win over Ridge Point, and shut out Jersey Village in round 1, and the Texans have all the tools to survive and advance. Going up against a squad like Atascocita, well, that's exactly what they'll have to do, survive. The Eagles are known to throw a hard first punch, and if the Texans don't look out, they could be down big early. Zion Brown is in his 3rd year as the Eagles' starting quarterback, and he helped lead Atascocita to a 41-14 halftime advantage over Pearland, where the Oilers really kind of knew what hit them. The Eagles took a couple losses heading into the playoffs, but they seem to be back on track now that the second season has started. This should be a highly entertaining game. Cy-Fair pulled off a heck of a win last week against Katy as they scored late to tie it up and then won in overtime 28-21. Trey Owens, the University of Texas commit, is simply in the zone behind center for the Bobcats. He's been able to find his deep threats, Owen Carter and Connor Porter, on a regular basis. Well, this Friday afternoon, he'll have another big test as Cy-Fair meets up with perennial powerhouse North Shore. That's at NRG Stadium. The Mustangs took a bit of a scare last week when Clear Springs played them close for 2.5 quarters until North Shore pulled away. But not only that, star quarterback Caleb Bailey left the game in the 3rd quarter, and he never returned. His status is up in the air, and that would definitely play a factor in this game. Running back DeAndre Hardiman would have to take a bulk of the offensive load, and it may neutralize that Mustang air attack. Maybe a game-time decision to see if Bailey will play. North Shore has enough studs all over the field that should tip the scales in their favor. You never know what will happen if Trey Owens is on point.
The Hot Zone is presented by the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. With just the right amount of heat and flavor, Louisiana hot sauce has been a game changer for more than 95 years. Inside High School Sports is brought to you by the TaxAct Texas Bowl. Get your tickets today at TaxActTexasBowl.com. Enjoy the authentic flavors of ancient recipes. So thin, so crisp, so good, Xochitl.
We caught up with yet another talented athlete from the Houston area on the recruiting trail, presented by Xochitl, Chips and Salsa.
Hi, my name is Jonah-Ajonye. I play defensive end for Oak Ridge High School. Georgia is the best in college football, especially when it comes to defense, and having a defensive head coach helps a lot. And I feel like they were committed to me just as much as I'm committed to them, so it made it a lot easier. And they did a really good job recruiting me and my mom and my sister. I don't even know the words to put it in, but I'm a very fast player and I'm strong. And I know how to bend the corner, use my hands, all the essentials to be a great defensive end. That's what makes me really good. My time has been nothing but amazing. I have great people surrounded by me all the time, great coaches, great players, great friends. It's been really fun. My coaches helped me grow a lot, not only as a football player, but as a person. I've discovered who I am because of them. They've been my father figures for the past 3 years, so yeah.
Hey, we can't get our cameras to all the big area round games, so here's some other games to keep an eye out for in the Hype. There's a few Saturday games that pit Houston teams against DFW squads. The one everyone should have their eyes on is Spring Westfield taking on Rockwall in what has all the makings of a shootout. It'll be a battle of top-notch, under-recruited running backs as Westfield's Tajay Adkins matches up with Rockwall's Ashton Emery. Adkins is coming off the game of his dreams against Klein Kane last week, and quite frankly, the Mustangs needed him to show out too. With Westfield down 34-14 at one point, Coach Matt Meekins turned Adkins loose, and boy did he deliver. How about 403 yards and 4 touchdowns? That helped the Mustangs take over the game and win it 55-41. The senior running back is now over 2,000 yards on the season. He's elusive and fast, the kind of guy you can't let get ahead of steam. Now for Rockwall, Emery had 270 yards against Waxahachie and scored 4 touchdowns himself. Yellow Jackets needed all of that yardage too as they escaped with a 46-43 victory. This one will be played in Pflugerville, so make sure you make the trip if you can. Meanwhile, in 6A Division II, Tomball is doing those Tomball things in the postseason. Cougars finished in 4th place with a 6-4 record during the regular season, but now the playoffs have started and they are rolling deep again. The last 2 years they've made deep playoff runs, and this year's no different. Saturday they take on Cedar Hill at Waco's ISD Stadium. The Longhorns are another 4th place team who found their footing in the postseason with 2 blowout wins. Tomball hasn't blown anyone out in the playoffs, but they've shown the grit that you need to have in the second season. Last Saturday against Oak Ridge, they took the War Eagles into overtime, and after Oak Ridge went up by 7, Tomball scored and immediately went for 2 and the win. Toby Fosher got the call for that game-time touchdown and then did a halfback option pass for the conversion. On paper, Cedar Hill might be the favorite here, but as we all know, no one plays these games on paper. Tomball knows that very well from past experiences, so look for this one to go down to the wire.
Inside High School Sports is brought to you by the TaxAct Texas Bowl. Get your tickets today at TaxActTexasBowl.com. Enjoy the authentic flavors of ancient recipes. So thin, so crisp, so good, so chill.
Let's take a look back at who won our defensive title belt. Plus, see who might come home with one this week in the Buzz. Last week, we saw Needville take home the defensive title belt. They got a pick 6 and held up strong in the first half to get by Lumberton and on to the 3rd round. This week, we may be looking at Belleville in the running for some hardware. The Brahmas already have a shutout under their belt from last week, and with big junior defensive end DJ Sanders terrorizing the line of scrimmage, Silsby could be in trouble against Belleville. Hey, that'll do it for today's show. Thanks for joining us. We hope you are now warmed up for more Texas high school football playoff action.